In this video we're going to look over this Pentax PC35AF camera. This is got the original box, and the box has got some wear on it. I see here was sold at JCPenney for $119, probably 30 some years ago. Anyway, let's open it up and see what we've got here. We've got a manual for the camera. We have a registration card of some kind that indicates a serial number, and if we unpack the camera with this Pentax packaging material here, we can see that it is serial number 2793864, which matches the number on the card. So it looks like that was always with it. If we look at the camera itself here, it's looks pretty nice from the front. There's no strap attached to the strap lug. Around the back I see some wear, some distress to this finish. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but we can see that. Top looks okay, bottom looks okay. And so what I thought I'd do is I'm going to just put in some batteries and try it out. I'm going to just move this box out of the way here a little bit so we've got a little more room to just concentrate on the camera here in front. And so it takes two AAA batteries, so I'm going to put two of those that I know are good in there. And close the battery door. And then I'm going to load this dummy roll of scrap film into the camera and just give it a try. So we're going to pull out on the rewind crank and the door opens. While we've got the door open, let's just kind of look at this. Light seal material I see is printing off onto this surface a little bit. There's sticky stuff along the door edges, so ideally those light seals should be replaced. Don't know how urgent it is before the next roll of film, but there's stuff in there that is sticking. So let's load the camera, and what we're going to do first is just drop this cartridge in, and we're going to move this over here and put the tail into this slot here. And then I'm going to turn the thumb wheel just a little bit to get that started so we can see that this is engaged with the sprocket holes here. We'll close the back and we'll wind this. Here we see the counter is there at 0. Okay, there it's up to the first picture between the 0 and the 2. And let's open this up. There we are. We can see this has a 35mm f2.8 lens, which is fairly impressive for a point and shoot like this, probably from the 80s. Now let's try picture. We saw the lens move to focus. I heard a little bit of a beep there. I'm guessing that's because it thought it was a little too dark here. And I see I have the ASA ISO set way down on 25. Let's move that up to 400 here. So now in this room about like this, it should be adequate. We've got to advance the film one more. Now we're on picture number 2. That time I did not hear the beep because at ASA 400 there was probably adequate light for that. Now let's try, let's advance the film again and try the self timer. So we push that forward there, and then we're going to, there we see the lens moves to focus first, and this little light comes on right here, and I'm just, there it's beeping. And so there we saw the cycle complete. So the self timer's working. I'm going to turn that back off, and this time I'm going to push this button over, which pops the flash up, and now we have to wait for this little indicator here to indicate that the flash is ready to go. and that takes a few seconds. So while we do that, we'll just look around. Oh, here it comes. It's not full brightness yet, but it's lit up a little bit in there. Okay, I think that's now ready to go. That's saying it's ready to go. So this time we're going to point this off here and we're going to watch the flash. And I certainly saw that flash, so that flash is working. Flash pushes down like that. If we just look around the rest of the camera here, we can push the cover closed and it opens up again, so that's pretty nice. The bottom has a manual film rewind crank. Over here on the edge there's a little bit of wear on that hinge. So I'm going to take one more picture here. Okay, and now if we were to say this was at the end of the roll, we could push in this button right here, open this crank, and crank the film back into the housing. So then when we pop this open, all the film has been rewound back into this cassette, and we could send that out for processing if we wanted to. So basically the film transport works, the shutter is working, the light metering seems to be responsive to light. I don't know exactly how accurate it is. A little bit of degradation of light seal materials, some kind of wear damage on the back. That's almost like some chemical got on there and affected the paint like that. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. Seems to be purely cosmetic. So we have the camera, the manual, the some sort of registration card that indicates the serial number of the camera, and the box. And the box has the original foam inserts and some kind of bag that maybe the camera sat in when it was in there. The camera fits into the foam inserts, and it all stacks back together just like that. So, an example of a used Pentax PC35AF 35mm point and shoot camera.